Hi, it's Rebecca here from Precious Pages Papercraft, and today I'm designing a layout for Hip Kit Club. And I'm still working with my January kits because my February kit appears to be held up somewhere, taking a little longer than usual to be delivered thanks to postal delays. So hopefully it'll be here for my next assignment, but today I'm still working with the beautiful brightly coloured January kits. And it's weekly challenge day, so today we have a sketch challenge for you. Here it is on the screen, and I had a DT prompt to flip the sketch, so I'm going to actually flip it a whole 180 degrees, so flip it on its head and have the title down on the bottom instead of up at the top. So you can see here I've done a little bit of prep work off camera. I've used one of the photo overlays from the Embellishment Kit, and rather than using it as a photo overlay, I've turned it into a sequin shaker pocket filled with some sequins from Spiegelmum scraps. So I've cut myself a piece of pattern paper, it's the same one you see on my desk there, to back it with. I've put the photo overlay on top, and I stitched around 3 edges with my sewing machine, left the top open so I could pour the sequins in, and then I stitched that over. And I've chosen the one that says good vibes only because I thought that worked really well with my photo, which is me and my little boy just fooling around in our local woods. It's got a play area, like a wooden play area, sort of buried in the middle of the woods. We were just larking around there and asked my husband to snap some pics, and this is one of the ones we got. So I thought good vibes only, it worked really well. And I've also decided to use those gorgeous fringed strips that we get in the January main kit. Now I actually haven't used them yet. I think I've made about 6 layouts now with this kit, and I completely forgot about these fringe strips, so I thought I would use them today. So on the sketch you've kind of got a central design, and it almost looks like it could be layers of sort of rectangle and square pattern papers with your photos on top. So I'm interpreting it slightly different, as you can with a sketch. It's there to kind of inspire you as a jumping off point. So rather than using a rectangle of patterned paper, I thought it would be more interesting to layer up these fringed strips, and I'm going to kind of offset them so that they're not completely aligned. So I've got some shorter on one side and longer on the other. And also, instead of having the 2 photos, the sketch kind of has a place for 2 photos, sort of looks like they're rectangle 3x4 style photos, and then a square over. Well, I've flipped the layout so it would be on the left of mine. I didn't really want to use 2 photos, I only wanted to use 1, so I'm using that sequin shaker pocket in place of that second photo. So it's exactly the same size as my photo, so that worked really well. So I'm going to have those sitting on top of my fringed strips, and I'm actually going to machine stitch down the top of each of these strips. Now in theory I probably should have done this after sticking each one in place. As it happens, I had to then bend the fringing back to reveal the top of the one above it, if that makes sense, to enable me to stitch through it without stitching through those fringed bits. I wanted to leave those free to sort of curl up and rough up. So yeah, in hindsight probably would have sewn through those as I stuck them down, but never mind. I managed it. It was just a little fiddlier than it needed to be. Okay, so I've skipped through all of the stitching process for you. I'm just going to give you a quick close-up there. So I've gone through the top of each strip, and I've also carried on onto my background as well. So the stitching is longer than the fringed strip, just for a bit of added interest to that background really. I absolutely love machine stitching, or hand stitching really, on a layout. I just love the texture it brings. So any opportunity I can, I do add some machine stitching, which is quite brave of me because my sewing machine and I really don't get on. It often gets tangled and the threads snap, but I persevere because I do love the end result so much. So I find it very stressful, but I do love to have machine stitching on my layouts. So all of that is in place, and I'm just going to work on my photo now. I want to add some coloured paper layers behind it, and I'm using the Hip Kit exclusive cardstocks for this. So in the January kit, I think it's the first kit that's done this, rather than having the textured basil cardstocks, we've got Hip Kit exclusive cardstocks, and they're double-sided. So one side has that kind of textured linen look to it, and then the other side has almost a polka dot pattern. So you get 2 for the price of 1 really. So really good value there in your cardstock kit. And I'm going to use 3 of the sheets just as layers behind my photos. So I've got a light pink colour, a lilac-y purple colour, and then a navy blue colour, just pulling in the tones that are in those fringing strips. And I've also gone with the darker blue because there are some darker blue tones in my photo, so I wanted to have a little bit more of that on the page as well, and they coordinate really nicely with those fringe strips, those colours, so super happy with that. And then also on the sketch, we've got a couple of tags. So on the sketch itself, they are on the top above the photos. Because I've flipped the sketch, I'm having mine underneath my photos. And I've used the Hip Kit Essentials metal dies for these. A perfect opportunity to use them. You get 3 different tag sizes in this set. You can just see them off the left of my screen there. You also get some kind of little banner pieces with fishtails. And you get the little circular punch bits to go on the whole of your tag. So loads of little bits in there, but it was perfect to give me some tags. So I've used the same pattern paper, the one you just saw me cutting there. That's the one I've backed my sequin shaker pocket in as well. So I've got that running throughout my layout. So I've got it for the shaker pocket. I've now used it for the tags, and I'm also going to use it for those strips on the top and the bottom. So on the sketch, you'll see you've got either different paper strips, or you've also got machine stitching going along. So I'm just going to add 1 strip of patterned paper I've torn to give it some nice texture on that edge. And I've also got some of the fringe strips left over. So you might have seen when I was adding those in place earlier, the bits that were behind my photo I cut off. So rather than the fringe strip going the whole way behind and wasting those sections, I've cut it in 2 pieces so that it's not wasted under my photo. Which gave me a little bit left over. So I've used that at the top and bottom of my layout there behind that torn paper edge, just where it kind of rises up and goes nearer the edge. It just gave me a nice gap to fill with that fringing. I'm actually going to cover most of the bottom one up anyway with my title now, but it is there in place. And I'm using both sets of thickers from the January kit. So you get 1 set of thickers, which is that black and white lovely geometric set. Those come in the main kit, and then you get the smaller lovely purple coloured thickers or alphabet stickers in the Pocket Life kit, and I'm using both on this layout. And I've got my title, Make Life Fun, because that is pretty much what we were doing. We were just larking around, having a bit of fun. He was jumping off of things in my arms and we were spinning around, so I love that for my title. And at the end off camera I will stitch through that as well, just to add in a bit more machine stitching, because there is quite a bit of it on the sketch, so I wanted to get some more on my page. So now moving on to the smaller embellishments, just to decorate my page. I've pulled out a couple of balloon stickers here. They're like balloons filled with confetti, and they've got a little bit of silver foiling in as well, which is super pretty. Those are from the sticker sheet in the Pocket Life kit, and I've used those because on the sketch you've got a couple of circular elements. So I've added one of those balloons to the top right of my photo, and then the other one as per the sketch kind of down with my title. I've also added a chipboard sticker over to the right of my photo that says Stay Sweet. I think that is from the Embellishment Kit. I've also got some chipboard little kind of like sneakers or Converse type boots, really colourful and pretty. I've added them underneath my photo on those tags. We were out walking through the woods, like an extensive hike through the woods, so I thought those worked really well, some nice comfy walking shoes. So I've got those on there. And then on the sketch, obviously you've got that square section next to the 2 rectangle photos with a circular piece. I haven't got that square, but I wanted to put something up in that area to kind of represent that part of the sketch. So I've used a sticker that says Smile, and I love the bright colours on that. Works really well with the colours of the sneakers and those tags and kind of all the colours on the layout really. But I wanted to have something up there, so I've popped that up there. And then I have these clear stickers left over from the Pocket Life kit. I absolutely adore clear stickers, and these with the rainbow colours are just stunning. You get some bigger title type ones at the top, and then you've got these smaller ones at the bottom, and I'm using loads of them. I'm adding them to my fringing strips. So I've got one that says, Be uniquely you, go out and be amazing, it's your life, do what you want, who cares what people think, which is quite a good one because we were acting like complete loons in this and people were staring at us, but I didn't care, we were having fun. I've got, oh yeah babe, go and live and be brave, you can do it. And then I also add another one down the bottom that says, happiness is a choice, not a feeling. So I love those little sentiment stickers, and they're all done in lovely rainbow colours as well, so just fantastic for this layout. So I've managed to use quite a few of those on this page. I'm now trying desperately and failing to make a little tassel from a bit of the leftover fringing strip, but my little quilling tool with the kind of slot in it, it's all got gunked up because I use it with my glossy accents to add sequins to my layouts. So the little slot is filled with glossy accents, so it wasn't working very well, and I couldn't roll it quite tight enough, so I gave up with that idea. I have got another quilling tool somewhere, I just couldn't find it. So I've given up with that. And instead up the top there, I've added a couple of pre-made tassels. How handy was that? Those are from the Pocket Life kit, and they're kind of puffy stickers, but I've used the colours again to coordinate with my papers. I've also added a puffy sticker rainbow heart over on the right hand side, just tucked that under nicely, and a couple of puffy sticker arrows underneath or just on the bottom of my shaker pocket. So on the sketch you've got almost like chevron shapes, and I wanted to represent those in some way, so I've used these 2 arrows. I think there was 3 of the chevrons on the sketch, but I only had 2 arrows on my puffy stickers, so we've just gone with 2, and obviously it's smaller, but I love how that looks. And then I've just finished the page off with some embroidery thread through my tags, especially I hate leaving tags bare, but the sketch also has some bows tied through them, so I've used some embroidery thread for that. And that is me done today. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this process and it's given you some inspiration in ways to interpret and use our sketch. I will leave some links in the description box below for you to the Hip Kit group website, the subscription page, and also to our Facebook group. If you're not already a member, do head on over and join. And if you'd like to take part in our weekly challenge, just create a layout based on the sketch, upload it to the thread in the group, and you'll be in a chance to win a $10 gift card to the store. But thanks again for joining me. I'll leave you with the rest of the close-ups, and I'll see you next time.